هذا السيفتي.
But you're still going to see a lot of contamination there.
Yeah, sure.
When you're running out, you have metals and you have trash.
السلام عليكم، ويلكم باك واهلا بالجميع في موضوع جديد. إعادة التدوير ثقافة مهملة في كثير من الدول، وقد تكون أحد الفروقات الرئيسية بين الدول المتقدمة والدول الثانية. الاهتمام بهذه المبادرة يحتاج تعاون من الجميع، وأيضا الفوائد الإيجابية اللي حتنعكس على المدينة حتكون جدا كثيرة. هذه المرة قمت بزيارة أحد مصانع إعادة التدوير في ولاية ألاباما. بدون ما أطيل عليكم خلينا نروح للمصنع ونكمل الحوار. نحن هنا اليوم أمام مركز الريسايكلينج اللي هو إعادة التدوير في تسكالوسا ولاية ألاباما، وندخل معاهم ونشوف كيف طريقة الريسايكلينج يعملوها في هذا المركز.
What's going on? What's going on? Y'all want to see this recycling stuff?
Hi.
Darnell Thomas, man. This is my man, Kenny Jones. Y'all ready?
Yes, hi. Good to meet you too.
He's wondering.
Yeah, it doesn't smell.
Yeah, why doesn't it smell? Where is the?
There's no garbage here. This is just recycling.
Okay, just recycling.
Yeah, just recycling.
So where is the garbage land?
The garbage is at the landfill. We pick it up on the curb from our citizens. We bring it to the landfill. So what we do here is we process the recyclables that people put in their blue curbside bins. So we sort at the curb, put it in the trucks. There's different compartments on the trucks, and then all of that falls through here. So boxes, paper, plastic. So in order for our citizens to recycle, in order for anything that comes here, they have to put it in the blue recycling bin at home.
تعاون الشعب والجهات المسؤولة هو سر نجاح هذه المبادرة. الجهات المسؤولة تحط الحاويات في الأماكن المخصصة وتوضع الإرشادات، والشعب عليه بأنه يتبع الإرشادات ويرمي في الأماكن المخصصة، وبكذا حتكون عملية الفصل جدا بسيطة.
Everything's already sorted here, so it's already fallen off the truck. Next, we have to process it and make it easy to sell. So in order to sell anything, it has to be sorted and you have to have enough volume. So what we do next is we compact it. We squish everything into big bales, these big blocks. So this is our baler. It's a giant compactor, but it's a baler. And instead of compacting garbage, we compact. Right now they're doing cardboard. So what this does is it squishes the cardboard right there behind you, then load it onto that conveyor belt, and we squish it into those big blocks. We call those bales. So and over there, that's where we stack them all up, and now they're ready to be sold. And that's how recycling is. That's how it works. This stuff is really valuable. So instead of burying it at the landfill, which would be the same as burying money.
How much is cost? When you sell? Yeah.
Right now, the paper industry is kind of low right now, but those aluminum can bales right there, those are worth about $1,200 each. So each one of those is about 800 pounds as well, but they're worth a lot more. Metal is a little bit more valuable than paper. Then we also sell we recycle our electronics. So if it's got a motherboard and some wires to it, we recycle those, and we work with a recyclery in Birmingham for our electronics.
Yeah, like which one the most expensive one? The metal or the electronics or?
Metal by far. Metal by far because it's pure. The electronics, you still have a mixed product. You've got plastic and metal and glass. It's all mixed together. Whenever you go to sell it, people like it when they're just getting one pure item. So they like the steel just by itself. And they like the paper just by itself. That's why we sort it out and don't sell mixed bales together. because usually the paper mills, they just want paper, and sometimes they want a certain kind of paper, which is why we separate the newspaper from the magazines, from the office paper, from the cardboard.
So today, like it's not as before. The technology it takes its place now.
Yep.
Like the newspaper, the numbers of the newspaper decrease.
It's gone down. Yes.
So is there any effect in the purchasing numbers?
Definitely. We get a lot less paper now than we used to, but also China has come out with new regulations for recycling where the Chinese market, they used to buy a bunch of paper from the United States. They're not buying like they used to because it used to be too contaminated or too mixed up for them. So they don't buy from the US anymore. So it's really flooded a lot of the paper markets here in the United States where they want their paper as clean as possible because they're not able to sell it to China. So it's kind of the trickle-down effect. But yeah, I mean, the recycling industry has definitely seen the effects of technology replacing paper.
Yeah.
So the paper market, while they're not getting as much paper as they used to, their requirements have gone up. They want it as clean as possible.
الاهتمام بمصانع التدوير ما هو فقط من أجل المال، في جوانب إيجابية جدا كثيرة.
It keeps these guys employed. The paper mills locally have a local source. They don't have to go to China. They don't have to go to Mississippi or Georgia or Tennessee. They can come right here and purchase their metal or their paper or their plastics. They don't have to look very far to find a good source, and it's already sorted for them. You know, some cities who recycle, they bale everything together. They don't sort it. They sell mixed bales, and it's not as valuable because then someone's got to bust open those bales later and pick through everything. But because we've sorted it from the beginning, we have very little contamination in our bales.
Are you clean them using water? Or?
We don't, no, and actually we've never had to. So even if there's a little bit of residue, even if there's still some food on the inside of a can, it does not hurt our process at all.
الجميل في الموضوع زرت المصنع هذا قبل زيارتي هذه بسنة، وكانت معايا قزازة رميتها في الأماكن المخصصة للقزاز، وسألتهم انتوا ايش تسووا بالقزاز وكيف تستفيدوا منه؟ قالوا ما عندنا آلية. عدت سنة على الموضوع ووجدوا آلية ممكن يستفيدوا منها من القزاز.
So how can you use the glass actually? Because a lot of them don't use glass.
No. I'll show you. Well, here's a picture. Here's some of it too. So whenever you put glass through that machine, it turns it into this mulch. And this is the only place you can squeeze broken glass because it won't cut you. But yeah, you guys can feel. It just feels like rocks, but you can squeeze it and it's not going to cut you. And if you pulverize glass enough, it just turns into sand. That's really all glass is. It's just melted sand. So yeah. So what we do with this is we use it in landscaping projects. You can add it to concrete. You can make concrete harder with it. You can put it. Whenever you're installing pipes in the ground, a lot of manufacturers and a lot of installers will use this as insulation instead of using pea gravel or crusher rocks. So what the city uses it for is we use it to offset the cost of buying rocks or sand. So right now, just the city's using this.
Looking great.
Yeah.
So why you put them here?
We wanted to show people that you can use it in place of rocks as landscaping material. So if we wanted to plant plants in here, it looks really cool too.
هي تقول لك هذه إذا حطوها بدال التراب برا ما عندهم أي مشكلة، يعني بدهم يستخدموها زي التربة في الخارج محل البلاي جراوند. Also where the kids can play, huh?
That's right, yeah.
Oh.
So the kids come through and that's why I tell them this is the only place you can play with broken glass.
Awesome.
Water bottle right there, whenever we recycle it, we squish it up into those big blocks, we sell it to manufacturers who then shred it. So they bust open those bales, it's kind of mixed up here, then they turn it into this flake and pellet, and then from there you can either melt the plastic back down, turn it into a table like this, or they've advanced the technology in the plastics market. They can blow hot air on these kind of warm pellets, turn it into a fiber, and then make it into carpet or clothing. So a lot of the stain-resistant carpet out there is made out of plastic bottles.
This
Isn't that
is
crazy?
made by plastic?
Plastic bottles, yes, plastic drinking bottles, just like that one. Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
I didn't
Yeah. That's it. We don't do that, but we sell to the people who do.
Maybe this is the reason. I see a lot of carpet in the United States here.
I think so, yeah. And you'll see the commercials for the new stain-resistant carpet, and all that's great, but usually whenever they say stain-resistant, it's because it's made out of plastic, and though they blow hot air on this, and it kind of creates this fiber, kind of zigzags and creates this little thread fiber, but that comes from this. And then they can put that in a machine and turn it into carpet.
Magic.
Yeah, magic.
You want to take a close look down the stairs?
Let's go. Hey, kid. Woo! Hey, go get down and go put it on some vests.
هذا الستيفني كل الأسعار there.
ما لبست
How can you wear it?
50 دائما لازم ما تصير
كيف؟ كده؟
Then we bring them over here, and this is a sorter. It sorts the aluminum from the metal. That's what it does. Push it in here. Push it in there. And it separates.
It separates by itself
Yeah,
here?
it separates by itself. You have metals, you have aluminum cans in one, you have metals, and you have trash. Come right there. Yeah, it's a beam up there that separates everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
How much is cost this machine?
Millions, man. Millions. Millions. Come out sometimes looking like this right here, when it runs through everything. But here, run it again, just make sure everything is out of it. Sometimes you run it twice.
What about the other papers?
Okay, the paper itself, that's the good. Not this thing here.
So which is cost more? This one, this type of papers, the newspaper, or that one, the regular one?
Okay, white paper.
The white paper.
Okay, white paper. And then you got your cardboard. Cardboard will always be, to me personally, it will always be the biggest money maker. Cardboard.
That's where you're running out
الكراتين دخلت من الناحية هذيك وعدت من هذه وهذا شكلها النهائي.
في صناديق زرقاء تم تخصيصها من قبل الحكومة في المدينة على أساس يتم فيها رمي الأشياء اللي يتم إعادة تدويرها. إذا ما حطيت أشياءك في هذا الصندوق ما حتروح لإعادة التدوير، حتروح للنفايات. فتعاون الشعب جدا شيء أساسي ومهم.
هذه أشكالين عن قرب، أشكال الكراتين وأشكال الأوراق، وهنا البلاستيك. هذا عندهم نوعين من البلاستيك، هذا بلاستيك 2 وهذا بلاستيك 1.
These right here. These are new kinds. We don't build these anymore, but we had a whole kind of thing to build those. And see back here, this is what we do is storage of the garbage container. Those are the old ones right here. Those are the old style containers. Then it just got a grab on it that only one man has to drive it. That's what we're going to. And those cans are more efficient than those cans. Yeah. We got special boxes that we put those in, and those get shipped out too. Yeah. So everything we are bailing, everything that we're doing to bring it in, it's always trying to get some type of profit for it. That's part of recycling. I tell everybody.
هذه بوسترات توعوية لكل من يزور المركز.
So lingering litter, how long it really lasts. So litter is a big problem here in West Alabama. People just throw their trash on the side of the road. We've had litter cleanups before, and this is kind of the breakdown of how it all pans out. It's gross. But this is how long litter lasts. So whenever you throw something on the ground, even something as simple as a banana peel, it's going to last for days before it eventually rots and goes away.
Oh, okay.
Cigarette butts, they take a really long time. People lose, you'll see things like this on the side of the road or in the waterways. They last forever, and things like plastic bottles don't break down at all. And then this is the local impacts of litter. This is how much the city spends each year picking up litter. So over $1 million in paying the crews to pick it up, to dispose of it, or to process it in the plant. And then the impacts of litter, it decreases property values. No one wants to set up a business in a town that's completely trashed, or no one wants to buy a house on a neighborhood that's covered in litter. So yeah, and another thing, it might be cool to just feature is the dangers of the job. So yes, picking up recycling and garbage, it's a really dangerous job that our crews have. Working around that heavy equipment, getting exposed to all those things, especially the garbage. We've had guys that get stuck with needles or cut with glass or burnt with chemicals because people don't bag their garbage the right way.
Imaginary time. People think it's something you have in dreams.
أذكى شخص في العقد الأخير، وجانب من قصة حياته وتحديه للمرضى المستعصي. لنا وقفة معاه في الحلقة القادمة إن شاء الله.